Hi everyone, it's Angel One Mima. So let's see what's coming. I just want to make a quick record today. Finally, this line is open. I hope it's going to last, or it's going to be another facade in the next 2 3 days. Boom, it's gone. I changed my internet uh, handlers. We have shifted to telecom now, and I'm not done yet. We're still sorting things and found out there's a lot of corruption. Two unknown people connected to my new internet service my router. They've already connected, and I have to go tomorrow and sort this and report this because I'm paying bills. Why should other people be connected to my phone, to my internet? This is how they've been hacking and stealing my work for a very long time, and it's written Warda. These are the same people who have been stealing, scamming, and doing a lot of shit behind the back. Anyway, I don't want to waste a lot of my time. My son Bilal has gone out to these frenaras because if they come, it's going to be noise and I won't be able to record. And I want to make this very brief, very brief. And if this line will come, the phone will be open. Maybe later at night, I can do 12 zodiac because at least people can have an insight of what's coming in the upcoming new moon, tarot twice. And I can see what I can tap into. Right now, I'll just do astrology and science a little bit. And I'm supposed to do the Hanukkah reading also. I've not done it. I'll try to do it before we finish the holidays on 15th. So let's just dump in. Tomorrow, by the way, today, do you understand why I'm in black? Today is 11th, the day my beloved father passed away, Muhammad Idi Abdallah. It's one of the saddest days in my life. And the funny thing is 11, 12. But if you look at the first three numbers, it's 11, 1, which is the 111, our code. And he left us on this day. I've been sad, thinking a lot about the past, but it's been long. I was 9. I'm 42 now. And you can see from this camera how I look. And if I record with the other Kenyan camera, how I look like I have not a professor. And if you look at me here, I look totally different. All was edited for some reason. But anyway, I just have one wish before I start. Please remember my father, my late father, in your prayers today, tomorrow, anytime. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, but if it's just a present. I don't ask anybody for anything much, but this, I need it because it's the least I can send to him on this day when he left us. And he left me with so many memories. Regardless, people say, oh, childhood wounds. Wait until you lose someone you love at a tender age. Ask anybody who has gone through this. They will tell you the wounds will never heal. If you just lose a pet that you raise from childhood until it's adult and then you lose it, how do you feel? Can you imagine having a father who was a friend? Because with me, I had a special bond with my dad. He was an undercover, but out of all the kids in the family, I'm the only one who knew every step, and I was the youngest. And that's how I came to also talk about the elephant tusks, the things I saw myself with my own eyes, and even who poisoned my father, and he had a slow death. So this is someone who was always there for me. Even after school, he will come pick me when it's still time for work. He will take me to his workplace, put me on his desk, and he continues to work and I'm there coloring or doing my homework. That's how close I was to my father. I was a daddy's girl. And ever since he left my life, I've never found someone who can replace him. Trust me, that bond we had is very special, not even with my child. I share a special bond with my child, of course. But with my father, he's irreplaceable. That's the only thing I can say. So please remember him in your prayers. I would really appreciate it. I'm not asking for much, just your prayers. Remember him in your prayers. He's the best dad I ever had. I don't want to get emotional anyway. So let me just sip this. If I talk about him, especially on this day, I feel like a lump is sitting here. And that's why I was dressed in black. Even though it's Hanukkah, it's a festival that I also happen to share and celebrate, but not today. Not for me. It's the day I'm remembering my dad. He died on 11th and he was buried on 12th. May God rest his soul in eternal peace, Ya Rabbi. Amen. Back to astrology. New moon in Sagittarius, which is going to happen tomorrow at 6:32 p.m. The new moon in Sag, which is happening tomorrow, is going to happen at 20 degrees 39 minutes. 20 degrees, if you just look at 2 and 0 numerically, let's talk about numerically. 2 and 0, that's the energy of, which is 2, and 2 is the second house, and that speaks about Taurus, where a lot of activities are still taking place right now. I'll talk about that later. But if you look at it energetically, 20 degrees carries the energy of more like Capricornian energy. So it's still earth. It's more about earth, even though this is Sagittarius. New moon is in a fire mutable sign. This is a portal to an alternative universe. Remember when I told you when we go through the scorpionic season, we will be dying in every aspect of our life. And it's a test, because when we went through the Libra season, while Jupiter was in Taurus, we were supposed to look at the aspects of judgment and the Jupiter normally also rules something, because Sagittarius is a sign also of, like expansion. And we have Uranus there, which is also destroying, of which if I explain it later, you'll understand all this concept. I'm going to put it into step by step so that you get the whole concept. When we went through this Libra season, it was judgment. Most people ignored it because they didn't see the judgment like happening. Well, we were being judged. It's like we were in the court. The summon was taking place. Through the scorpionic season, that's when we are now being transformed. What's our verdict? Either we go down or we shoot up, learn from our mistakes, so that by the time we are in Sagittarius season, we know right now, like, all right, I learned from my mistake, or I'll keep on repeating it, of which you have no chance, because this is the time where destruction will take place. And I'll explain to you why destruction is going to take place in this upcoming new moon. By the time it reaches the full moon, you're going to see it with your own eyes what's going to happen. And so as I said, it's a portal to an alternative universe. Either you are stuck, you get your judgment and you fall. When you fell into the Anubis time, you didn't feel it immediately. But now, in the Sag season, you're going to feel it. The upcoming new moon to the full moon, because we'll be shifting, the zodiac will be shifting. You're going to feel it, because that's when you're going to understand, when you enter the Sag season. Either you gain the wisdom of your mistakes, or you learn a bitter lesson that is going to transform your life forever. Remember, the major arcana in the deck of tarot, we start with the Fool, we end with the World. And where the World is ending, the World represents the Sagittarius. The journey is ending there. So by the time you shoot to the Capricorn season, what happened? You have Saturn there. So there are rules and restrictions. So once you have learned, you have reached the World, it's the end of your cycle. When you start there, now you're going to master the rules, regulation, learn the lessons before you take the next step. So right now, We have like a portal opening. Alternative universe. You want to grow up, learn from your mistake, or you want to get stuck. And this is the chance we are like transitioning from the scorpionic energy to Sagittarius season. So this new moon has this opportunity. It's kicking off tomorrow. For those who are already like psychic, you can always feel it. 5 days ago, 3 days ago, this energy is already here. It's manifesting. But mostly tomorrow will be the climax at 6:32. And this new moon will be squaring Neptune. And we all know Neptune rules Pisces. What does it mean? Neptune is the planet also where reincarnation takes place. But at the same time, you have to understand that Neptune, which rules Pisces, is the sign of escapism. This is where you're going also to understand what is about to happen. I'll give a little bit of global prediction through this. You will see that too. When such things happen, when this new moon is squaring Neptune, it's like the feeling of it will instigate by default everyone. The feeling of unknown. You might feel stuck now, like, hell no, what the fuck did I do? What happened to me? How did this even happen? How was I affiliated with these people? How did I get into this mess? Such kinds of questions you'll be asking yourself. It's because of the square, because you're put in a corner now, and maybe you have been escaping. This can happen. For example, I'll give an example. You're a con artist or you are a liar. You've always been getting away with all the things you are doing. This time, you're going to be cornered. And you have no way out because you will have to face the judgment and the consequences of your actions. So it's going to create this type of feeling stuck, and it will also, you're going to feel like, because Neptune is all about mirage, you'll feel like I can't see properly. There's fog. I can't. What should I do? You're going to run out of like, not everyone, but mostly people will feel it. Everybody will have it. Depends on your magnitude. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this problem? But the good thing is we have a very tight conjunction where the Mars and at 6 degrees, of course, 52, probably it will be reaching almost 7 by tomorrow. And the Jupiter, this will be transiting the eclipse point. This will help you. Mars will play a role because Mars is action oriented. The fact that you feel stuck, Mars will push you. But this push depends on your karma, because either it uplifts you to have a breakthrough, because with squares there's always solution. So you either have a breakthrough and jump out, or Mars, as you know, bestows or creates kingdom, or it's going to just push you down and you're going to lose everything, fall from grace. Your life will take a turn. Your life will take a turn. Here, this I promise you, that your life will take a turn, for better or for worse. Because at the same time, with this conjunction and the fact that Jupiter will be transiting an eclipse point, it will definitely also recall the themes of the October lunar eclipse. Remember when we had this lunar eclipse in October, which had a theme of what is destined for you is meant to reach you. Just stay focused and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. So what does that mean? Remember when we were in the eclipse, people were, depending on your natal chart, but we had a portal which was opening, and I told many people there was a reading I needed to do. So many, anyway. But it was in one of the readings I briefly explained it and said that there is a portal which is open. It's like we are receiving what we have signed, our soul contracts. What is destined for you? Maybe it was delayed. Can be through spells. So many aspects that hindered you not to go to your destiny. This time, with this Jupiter passing through and Mars, this eclipse point, it's going to like blow this up, instigate it for you to stay focused. And what is destined for you, I promise you, it's on the way. Maybe it was delayed even for 40 years. But this new moon, that's why I'm saying it's an alternative to new universe. It's like a rupture. Something is busting out and you are taken straight where you're supposed to go. And this will happen abruptly, and it is because of the help of a very strong aspect, a star, a healer up there. I will explain deeply about this. You'll understand it, and you'll know why most things were delayed. It's because there was poison. Poison doesn't mean like poison. It's like there was something which was stopping. There was an invisible wall, an obstacle. And every delay was a blessing. But since you were just focused, you never gave up, God is about to show you that, yes, there was a reason why it was delayed, but your blessing is coming 10 times fold. So this is going to be amazing. People who have done the work, you're going to see how it's going to work. Then we have Jupiter, which will trine Mercury. And it will be a day before it stations to be retro. Which will stations at the retro, and it's around, like today I checked, it was at around 66 degrees in Taurus. 60 degrees, 40 minutes. So 14 minutes. So by tomorrow it will be up. It will increase, but no big effect. It's no big effect. It's just it's less than 24 hours. So what will happen here? It will help you ground your thoughts, plan your future, your visions. And also the new moon will trine the north node in Aries. And what is Aries? Aries is the first house. I am. It's all about you. So when this when this new moon trines the north node in Aries, it will give you a glimpse, and also it will highlight the sense of your freedom. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a parallel universe. Maybe that's why the square will make you feel stuck. But there helps. I always say squares have solutions. You're going to see the vision of your future. If you have been doing crimes, then your vision is, you might see now where you're heading, because you have been squared. There is no way out. Either jail time, losing everything, or whatever. But for others, if you have been stuck, this is the time you're going to see a glimpse of your future. That this is your destiny. This is where you're heading. You might also find out people who have gifts. Maybe they were suppressed for so long, but because of this new moon in Saggitarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about the gifts, like we call it Santa Claus, Uncle Sam, it gives you presents and it expands them. So you're going to find whatever was suppressed inside you, be it your gifts, your talent, they're going to burst out, and you will be even shocked yourself. How? I didn't know I can do this. I didn't know I can. Yes. For example, I knew I can play around with the numbers in the universe, but my guides told me it's not legal to gamble, but you can play with numbers and you can gamble. And I was given a test with the lotto thing. I explained, but somebody went. I've not even gone to Revit to check it because the numbers were altered. I don't know what they will say, but I had all the details. So such kinds of things and many more. Maybe you didn't know you can sing. You're going to find out, like suddenly you're just starting and your voice is up there. For others, cooking, maybe. You're just doing something. Let me just try this recipe and this spice, and the next thing you find a very delicious dish and you have a hidden talent. It can be many things, regardless of your age. Some people may be old, and you might find out you didn't do something back then at your early age, but now, despite that you're being old, you might be good in something. It can be any game. Maybe you're not even playing, you're coaching these people to do it. So many hidden talents are going to be coming out, and thanks to Jupiter and this star, which is carrying the energy of Capricornian and Venusian part of it. We'll explain it. This star is very important for this new moon because this star can build, you know, like push you out and you can see your destiny, have a vision. As I said, the way the nodes have been, they're going to trine with the in Aries. It's all about you personally, you, not projection, no nothing. It's you and only you. Your personal like gift is going to come out. That's what I'm saying. Your soul contract, whatever in the lunar eclipse which happened in October, you're going to understand now why there was a delay and why this is happening right now. It's because of the planetary aspect. And we have a hidden helper, which is a fixed star, and I'm going to talk about it. That is what is going to help many people heal, but at the same time, it's a disaster because it will destroy. So it, for those who have been affected, it will destroy for you to build. But for those who have been holding others back, it will destroy you completely. And I will explain it in details because this fixed star is represented by the card Tower. And you know what happened with the Tower. So Chiron, wounded healer. It's an asteroid and it will form a trine with the new moon, and this will force us to revisit uncomfortable experiences which will expose our vulnerability, will allow us to have peace and have the nudge to move forward. I'm going to give you a perfect example of myself. How this new moon and how this Chiron trine is affecting me as a Libra. As I said to you, you know, when if I look back at my chart, the day my father passed away, it was already reflecting in my chart because it was the opposite side of me. And there's an aspect, I can't go into details, it's scientific. If there is an aspect, if you have this aspect activated in your chart, definitely the paternal, the father figure will pass away. It's showing, it's indicating that this is the ending of your dad. And when I look back at the chart, I was 9 back then, no clue. But now when I looked at it, this aspect was right opposite me. Maybe people like Lada, I think you can explain this, that aspect, you know. I don't want to go deep into it because it will take forever and I'm trying to time these boys before they come back here. And this aspect was on that time my father died, it was right opposite me. And of course, this is instigating. There is something now, this is Chiron, the wounded healer. It's instigating this aspect in me. And personally, I feel it. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm in black today because I am really mourning inside. I may look okay here, but deep inside, I am cracking. I wish I see him. In my dreams, I communicate with him, but it's not enough. I wish he can come and hug him. I can see him, but God's plans can't be changed. Even though now the spirit of my father, which has gone into someone else who is going to be appearing in my life, this is the time also which is going to be activated because personally in my chart, it's indicated. His reincarnation now is fully ripe for him to appear in flesh through somebody else. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see that. Because when I went, I did explain to you when I went for Umrah and I asked for that, I was told it's going to happen. And then it was 7 days and there was a delay. And I was told there is something about establishing a throne, which means he has to have his seat in 3D for him to embody that person. And then he can appear. But now this aspect is already here because with this trine, with the new moon, it's going to be manifesting, even though it's going to be very uncomfortable for that person who is going to carry his energy and for me as well. But whoever this person will come and now show up, this will be the healing and it will make peace with me and move forward. So most people are going to be like that. Maybe you lost a child, maybe you lost a lover, maybe you lost wealth or anything. You will be triggered, but there is a there's a possibility, there is a healing coming in, and I will explain why this healing is also coming. It's through this star, a fixed star, which is coming there. So this projection is kicking off already, but tomorrow is going to be like officially flagging. So until new full moon, we're going to see the changes. We're going to have peace. And in my case, as I know, I'm telling you, it's going to be complicated. Is my dad's spirit is entering somebody, and he was working things behind the scene and all that. This is the time this person is going to be urged to move forward, because the time is ripe. And this will create a lot of peace and urge. I have an itchy nose. I think I'll catch a cold. It will allow to have peace and have the nudge to move forward. Chiron also will trine the sign at 3 degrees and Mars at 320. Lilith will trine Jupiter at 1 degree. This is something I saw today, so it will affect tomorrow. The degree will change by tomorrow, but it's no big deal. And again, it's a new beginning, for better or worse, since Jupiter will expose a darker side of Lilith, which needs to learn lessons. But one thing you need to understand, the problem with Lilith, at the same time, it will be opposite Saturn. And Lilith is more like a darker side, the dark moon, which never takes rules, likes to do things behind the scene. And this will create and instigate a situation whereby someone, or a situation whereby there will be refusal to follow the protocol, which will lead to a huge loss, an opportunity, and it will create a lot of misunderstanding, because it's more like Saturn is more like you have to do things by the book. Lilith, remember, is the dark moon. It doesn't want to do things as per the book. They want to do things their way, and that's why they're in the dark. You don't see what they're doing, you just see the mess. That's how it is. So it's gonna be like, and Jupiter is there, the fact that they're trining, it's going to have like, for you to have a new beginning, everything will have to come out. So that's the side of the Lilith. And then we'll have Mercury sextile Venus, which is the boost and the most definitely a one-to-one communication upcoming. And that's why I was saying this issue of Chiron, and like in my case about my dad, it will be a one-to-one communication coming, which will be pleasant and in every way, and may lead to a brand new beginning. This is like you're getting your key to the alternative world. This one-on-one communication that is going to come to you, it comes with a lot of clarity. A clarity where it will give you an end, a clarity where it will give you a new beginning. New beginning can be in many ways. It's like, okay, jail term, 10 years. That's your new beginning. So your new beginning is going to go behind bars. Or for others, your new beginning, you had a very good life, but now since you finished your tour with the Major Arcana deck, you started as a fool and you finished in the world, Sagittarian season, a Sagittarian energy. So what does it mean? Your new beginning, because we say after every finishing line is beginning of a new race. So what's going to happen here is, yeah, time is up. If you are living high and enjoying and doing every kind of tyranny or anything, this is the D-Day. You're going to have your full stop, and your new beginning, it will be a 360 of what you had before. Same with those in the other side. You are struggling, but this time it's like a whole new world. Everything is taking a turn 360, and you're going to see things opening up in your life energetically. And I'm talking about energetically. You're going to see changes happening. You are a person maybe who is seen highly in the society. People are going to see your mask fall off and the truth is coming out. And for those who have been dissed, maybe the truth is coming out and people are going to recognize and even regret, like, oh my God, can I have just one more chance? Maybe I can just explain myself what happened and such things. You're going to see also such things. Expect also a lot of apologies from people who maybe disappeared from your life. And through the journey, you are going through your ups and downs, and so are these people. But now with the, as I said, the world, if you talk about Major Arcana Tarot, the world, which means the journey is over, and that's why they have a new beginning. These people might try to re-enter your life. You can make peace with people, but one thing I'm going to tell you, we are all grown-ups. And through experience, we all, as I said, experience is the best teacher. You will decide yourself through your experiences with these people. Are they worth a seat on your table? You can have peace, make peace with them. Yes, I forgive you, but I don't need you. But at the same time, there are people, maybe there were circumstances which pulled you away from one another, but there was no genuine reason that you fought or anything. So this is the time you're going to see these people drifting back into your life. And if you want to have a new beginning, that's why we will have this Mercury sextile Venus. Mercury rules communication, and Venus, is all about luxury and balancing things, especially on the Libra side. So what is going to happen here is the communication will come, you'll have your clarity. Then it's up to you. Do you want to have a new beginning with these people, or you choose not to? So that's how you're going to make your decision as well. At the other side, this will trigger love at first sight. Love at first sight. Someone might see you, maybe somebody knows you, but they never like paid attention because there was like an invisible wall, and suddenly this person sees you again and they get triggered. Oh my God. And they fall in love. This can also be a total stranger. What helps that and what instigates that? There are many factors to instigate that, but the energy of Mercury is all about communication, movement, and Venus rules love. So the thing is, it's like the gatekeeper finds the right candidate. Because Mercury is a gatekeeper. The gatekeeper finds the right candidate. So, and they're going to be like, oh, it's you. It's you. It can be total strangers. Maybe you're even traveling, because Sagittarius also rules foreign travels, or even a foreigner or anything. You can just be moving, maybe even throwing trash outside, and someone passes and sees you and they're love struck. Such things can happen. Love at first sight. You know what to do. Do your math behind the scene. Moon will square Saturn. One word. I'm not going to explain this. Clash of the Titans. Moon, illusion. Saturn, restrictions. So what do you expect? A person who's causing illusion is going to be exposed, and it's your way, or it's going to be like the protocol way or the highway. Maybe it's an organization. You are doing shitty stuff behind the scene. This is going to be exposed, and one thing is verdict. You're fired, you're going to jail, you're penalized. Such kinds of things will happen. I don't even need to go deeper with that, because this is just clear. Two contrasting sides, very much opposing. So we will have Cancers this side, we'll have Capricorns this side, and they will clash, because whatever was hidden is bubbling out in the surface, and there is no way the universe will allow them to slide out of it right now. All right. So now let's talk about this star. It's a very bright star, which is going to be, this constellation is going to be extremely active with this new moon in Sagittarius. And it's called Ras al-Haga. It's an Arabic name. It's, but it has, I will explain also the other names in other side. The brightest star in this, in the eye of a snake charmer. This star is like here, the third eye of the snake charmer. And I will explain who is the snake charmer. Here, like here in Wiesbaden, in Germany actually, we have a hospital also by the name, that's where even Bilal's grandfather passed away, Asclepios. That is Ras al-Haga. If we refer to Ras al-Haga in the medical physician world, that is Asclepios, and he is known to be one of the best healer. He was a physician who could heal to an extent, bring somebody from death, a person who is nearly dying. The way the healer had the power to pull this energy of this person back and give them life. And it reached a time he really abused this energy, and Zeus decided to just kill this Asclepius with the thunderbolt, and that's his Ras Al Haga. Now, yeah, he. Let me just go into details and then I explain everything. It's the brightest time this as a snake charmer, sparkling sapphire falls around the area of full beam, a medicine man third eye. This constellation resonates with Aries. They're the first, and I will explain why Aries. Because this type of snake charmer, it's also known as, apart from the Ras Al Haga, which is this here. Ras is Arabic, is head. And then this is the part of the head where the star is, the third eye. It's like the third eye is extremely big. But if you look it back then, like in Persia, they used to call Rai. Rai in Arabic also is a shepherd. What do shepherds do? They guide the sheep. So this is where now the whole thing comes in. I want to go into step by step, you understand. This constellation is resonating with Aries because it embodies the energy of a shepherd, leader. So like it leads people. And this star is related highly with occult wisdom, the occult wisdom. And it has a bad rap, as I said, because it's a... Oh, the boys are back. Just a minute. It's going to get a bit louder. So what is happening here? It's yeah, this star is related to occult wisdom, but it has a bad rap. And the reason is, it's because with this intense knowledge, especially in physics, and it's through physics, through many experiments, that we get to create medicine. So it can give you a healing aspect, but it has also that tendency of punishing people, and it can kill, or it can create something that goes viral and harm you in a very bad way. Because if someone can tame a snake, you can imagine the type of tricks and the calculation they use to get that poisonous animal, a reptile, around them, because it's also connected to the serpents. The star is more like it embodies the energy of reptilian, the serpents, the dragons, and such. And we all know these are the types also which were demons in disguise, as far as back when Adam and Eve, Adam and Hawa were created. And it was through the serpent that they lost their glory. So this is the type of, this is one of that energy which is being activated right now. So there's a deep knowledge. That's what I'm saying. People who have talents will not know. If you're an occultist or very spiritual, you're going to find out, or you're going to be handed like a key to another world, especially when it comes to healing. Personally, I'm going to give an experience. The last few days, I was just like thinking of blood purification. And I have my own remedies. And I was told by my guide, do this and this, and then eat this and this, and sit back and watch how your intestines will react. Believe me or not, I tried it. At first I tried it last week, very little, and I felt like I had a brick in my tummy, and it just washed out. It washed out. My face had started to have like rashes, and it's because of the winter. Is despite I'm putting a lot of olive oil, because I use olive oil on my face always. I don't put so much creams or anything, and otherwise the last thing I can put is maybe just a sunscreen kind of cream for day cream. That's it. But it's all remedies, homemade stuff that I use. And I was having, my face was changing, even my complexion. And I was like, oof, something is wrong in my system. And I was feeling sick the last week. And that's why I said my health was really, I felt like something was off. I have to concentrate on my diet. And my guys were like, you need to use this and this. I will write it down, by the way. I will send it today, tomorrow, if not the day after. In the next 3 days, I'll send it out. And how you can purify your blood and even your intestines. Simple, very simple remedy. I tried it. It's bitter, but it was also not like something I liked. You know, when I say bitter, it's not like bitter, bitter, but it's not something I was pleasant to experience. But it really gave me a boost. It really gave me a boost because I felt like I lost a whole brick from my tummy when I went to the bathroom. And it really pushed me out. So this is the type of deep occult knowledge, and I understand now it's because of this star of Ras Al Haga that it activates this third eye, because of the third eye of a healer, but this healer was a snake charmer. It activates something that you overlook, but it plays a big role in your life. So I tried it last week. Simi, let me do it at a very small dose, and it worked. Today, I tried it again. And thank God, I was feeling so cold and I was getting cramps. And I always have this since that's one of my side effects, but the doctor told me it's okay because my bones were really like affected during chemo. No big deal. And he told me you will live with it, but it's no, you just need to protect yourself. So I found my own remedies how to heal myself. And trust me, today I took that early in the morning, and you can even see from my face, I look much better, very much better. But at the same time, my body started, like my room temperature changed. My fingers were becoming very like light blue, and that's a sign there was not enough oxygen, like moving through my veins and my nerves properly. When I do sports, it's okay, but when I'm not, I can just see the changes here. But alhamdulillah, you can just see my fingers, my complexion, everything looks much better. Even my face now, I always have like this pinkish rosy cheeks, and summer, winter, they always come. Today, suddenly, that heat in my body has come into its right pH, and I can feel warm and I feel much better. So I'm going to write that remedy also, so people who need it, they can also use it, especially for people who are very old, maybe, or you suffer through arthritis. It can also help with arthritis, because when you have arthritis, it's more like it's like calcium deposits, and these calcium deposits are sitting in the veins, not like crystals. They are more like bubbles of air. So this can just like flush it out, and you will feel relieved. So I'm going to send that out, not today, if not maybe tomorrow or the day after. I'll see if I can do it tonight. If this is open, yes, I can try and see that I'll do it. So as I said, it can be arrived because of the Neptunian part of it, which is very it has that, a snake, for example. Let's talk about a snake. A snake, by default, when it sees you, it's always on defense mode, and it just throws poison. It attacks you. So this is the type of that energy. And sadly, I'm going to say, we are going to see a lot of people, because of this aspect and this star being activated. Remember when I told you, when we had Algol and Aldebras, when they were just very near, and I said something, even in the global prediction, I said, the last global prediction I made, I said something will happen that will instigate a big fight and bloodshed. And we ended up having the Israel-Palestine conflict right now, and it still keep on going. And this is now a different story. What is going to be activated right now is going to be on the medical health side of everybody. Be careful. That's why I'm preparing. I was like, my guys were preparing my body in advance, because this is about to come. We are going to have a lot of contamination, and this I'm giving you as a global prediction. We are going to have a lot of contamination, and this contamination will come in form of food, processed food, drugs, which is medical, and also overindulgence. If you're a person who smoke, I will say reduce it, especially this new moon until full moon. Try to stay away from too many puffs, and people who are taking drugs, alcohol, especially now is festive season, people are drinking. Be careful. There will be a lot of infections coming through the things you are using to indulge yourself. And you know, because Neptune also rules escapism and twisting that standard state of mind. So if, for example, you might take a little bit of alcohol, but how it will react on your body because of these aspects right now which are being activated, it ends up becoming poison in your system, and it can cause you a lot of problems. For others, you can even feel like you're drinking, you don't feel anything, you know, you feel like you're still sober, so you keep on drinking and drinking, and by the time everything changes now, the whole alcohol, for example, or if you're taking drugs, it takes your system, it's out of control, and you might end up overdosing. We might have people also who take medicine. Be careful of those people who self-medicate also, especially with tablets. I'm not talking about only home remedies. If you're not so good, you know, with home remedies, you have not tested like myself, I test it and I see, you can see the results. But if you're not good in such things, don't do it, because you might mix something and it will cause a weird reaction on you or the people around you. So the copy paste people, be very careful. You might copy something, give it to somebody to try to heal. Maybe it helps you, but in their system, it's not working properly. You'll have to be very careful. So take medical, make sure you get enough consultation. People like who take diabetic medicines, for example, because they do it regularly, basic. I have a German here. Like you take it on a daily basis or frequently. And if you want to change, let's say, your tablets, make sure first you have proper checkup and ask your doctor, or wait until this aspects is finished, because you might switch to another tablet, and that tablet will be instigating something that is going to be very devastating in your health. So yep, expect outbreaks. There will be things like dengue fever. They are coming back at full rate. Food poisoning, bloating, cholera, dysentery. We're going to see them. Jiggers. They are going to be coming like, it's like, you know, Thriller. Coming from the ground, and poof, the next thing, there's an epidemic. Just like that. Epidemic. And we see people are just, oh my God, we have a whole village in the hospital. We have a whole town in the hospital. And you wonder what's happened. It's this Ras Al Haga energy, which is very much strong, and it's going to give this negative impact on many people. So it's festive season. Be careful. When you are a person who loves steaks, for example, they will tell you, you want it well cooked, medium, or very little. Take the well cooked. Let it get cooked properly, so you don't give room to anything that is raw that is going to affect you. Or if you're somebody who eats raw stuff, especially flesh, be very careful. Or even stuffed canned food or anything, go for something organic than preserved type, because chances are you're going to be food poisoned with that thing that you're going to eat. Or even medicines. Water as well. Be very, very careful. And this should also go to the warning in the ministry. For example, check the water analysis, do it this upcoming new moon, because you might we can have a city that is going to be affected all over, and it's because from the water. Such things, because as I said, Pisces rules illusion, and this, it triggers that. It triggers the Piscean energy strongly. It really triggers that because of the aspect, how it sits together with it. And then apart from the negative aspect, this star carries also the highest vibration, and very few who can tap into this energy will see the effect. As I said, I have tapped, I was pushed, my guides showed me, I tapped, and you can see from I should not wake up with pimples tomorrow. But you can see myself how at least my energy has really like pulled up. I had very dark, like bluish lips, and I knew my oxygen level is something is alarming here. But thank God it's getting much better, even though I have my lip gloss here. But it looks much better, and you can even see from my face that heat in my body, at least I can feel that blood is really circulating. So if you have a third eye and you can tap into the blunders, you'll be able to also, your guides or this talent which is in you is going to be unfolded, and you'll be able to see, oh, okay, this can be healed this way, in a simple way, and it will help you, because this is a healer, but this healer is also ruthless because it's a snake. Unless it like you can overcome its powers, then you can get the healing aspect of it. Otherwise, this is a serpent who's just out there to cause a lot of destruction. As I said, it's ruled by the card, the Tower. And on the other aspect, I will also say, because there is this Venus opposite Jupiter, this is going to be very lucky for big money, but it comes with entitlement. There will be entitlement. Gambler's energy. And you might fall in a trap also. As I said, this is very toxic energy. It can bless you or ruin you. You can win, or you can overdo it and lose everything. So gamblers, be very careful. But the chances are, Venus opposite Jupiter, big luck, lotto, sharp win. But for others, you might gamble and lose everything as well. And how you also earn your income, this is going to be affecting you at the same time. So back to our star. As I said, Ras al-Haq is I wrote all these notes down because I was downloading and my guides are there, and then I just go to internet and just do my referrals. So that's why I have to jot them down. The name is derived from Ras al-Lagu, which is Ras al-Hawa, the moon, Rish al-Hawa of first being, is the only teeth of the 17th century. There was a German astronomer called Bayer. He's the one who discovered this in this Western world. In the Western world, it was a German astrologer in the 17th century, Bayer. And that's why we have this German, most hospitals, Asclepius. You will see even the symbol. It's a man who is holding a snake. It's this symbol, Ras al-Haga. And the occasional Azalaga has been traced to the Turkish. The Turkish now, because the link with the Ottoman Empire back then, the Turks and the German, it was not too far. It's like the West was meeting the East through Turkey. So this is how this knowledge also was passed through. And to the Turkish, the title constellation, but it's a universal star, named from a nation, does not seem probable, and most likely Turks adopted and altered it from the Arabic, because I said the Arabic word is Ras al-Haga, but they altered the name, the Turks. And in the 13th century, which is way back now, in the Eastern world now, in the Persian world, the East world, in Germany, it was in 17th century that they found it, but in the Middle Eastern, because of Babylonian energy, and then we had the Egyptian energy, knowledge back then. They were very much advanced with this knowledge. So in the Western world, the tapping was on the 17th century, and it was this astronomer who was reading the stars, Bayer, and he found the shape of this shepherd, Rai. And as per the constellation, you can even Google it, you'll see this man is sitting with a shawl and has a stick with a snake, and he's holding that snake. And that's what I'm saying. You can see the Asclepius has the sign of this snake being held by a man. This man was a healer. In modern world, we can say he was one of the best physician. But that energy was, it's a constellation. It's being represented as above, so below. But it's saying that energy which was being brought down, it was the energy of a best physician. I'm telling you, the fact that they have hidden knowledge from simple things, he could heal, but he was too manipulative until he was destroyed, as per the myth, the stories, how they say it. Just like the way I tell you, Orishas are planets, but how they put the stories, you'll understand what it means. So the same thing, the myth of this Rai, who is the holder of this Ras al with the third eye, he was a very good physician to an extent. He was manipulating the knowledge and even trying to resurrect dead bodies to make them more like necromancy to that extent. But this was a healer who was extremely using the energy of healing to that extent. It's like you're crossing the line. That's why I said it's a very deep occult star. Very deep. If you can tap into this, oh my God, you will have a lot of knowledge. And that's why I'm telling you, if you can have this type of, if when you have these energies, don't abuse your knowledge. As I tell people, I know so much, alhamdulillah. And God keeps on blessing me with more information, but I don't abuse it. And that's why I get keys to move forward into more and more portals. But the moment you abuse it, you create karma for yourself. Just wait until when you're told the karmic time has reached, you need to do ABCD by your guides, then it's a different story. But when you abuse the knowledge that you know and manipulate systems, it has a price. And this star is going to be paying a price to many people who have done that. You will see corruptions and everything. People are going to be affected, and it's hitting strongly on health, the health aspect of our bodies, because you can see that in the 3 decons we have mind, body and soul. So this is hitting the body, because it's through the body that we need to be healthy for us to have a good status of mind and the soul to survive. And so this is hitting directly the body part of our 3 aspects, the 3 decons. And that is why it's going to be, you have to be very careful. And the worst part is that it's because it's in the 3rd decon. 20 degrees is already the 3rd decon. That's the most sensitive decon there, and especially in this Sag energy. The degree is a very sensitive. It's in the 3rd decon, so we have to be very careful whether we like it or not. And so the 13th century Persian astronomical writer Al-Qaziwi cited Ra'i as the shepherd, this constellation in the sky, the star, because when you join them they look like humans, some they look like arrows. So this one was looking like a shepherd, the Ra'i. And Cephas al-Ra'i may have come from the adjacent Rauda or pasture, the nearby Alpha. Alpha is always connected to Aries, the first one. It was during I can tap a little bit into also the Greek myth. Hercules, who is also known as Ras al-Agedi, it's in 6 degrees to the west being Gulls of Arai, which is the dog of the shepherd. And while neighboring stars present the club, where Hercules marks as the flock. So this star, we saw Ras al-Ghai, it comes, I have to mix like 2 languages at a go, and I find it like I have like tongue twisting. This this Ras al-Ghai is the 3rd eye, but the real shepherd, okay, this more like an Aries type of energy, and is looking like the Ras al-Aqedi, and that's the dog of the shepherd, because every shepherd has a dog, okay. And the stars, because this is the brightest, the stars which is neighboring there, and that is what Hercules referred to it. They refer to the other stars which are look at the constellation, Google it, and I will try to see if I can post a photo. There are neighboring stars which are very small, but many. That's how they're calling it. They're saying it's Israel, like he was the leader and he was leading the flock, the shepherd. That is the Greek myth, how it came to this with the Persian. The writer was a Persian astrologer and astronomer, and he came up with this myth, and he took this knowledge also part of it from the Greek world and compared it to this Hercules. And in China, it's a little bit different because they refer to the Alpha, Ras al Hag, as how the Duke and the surrounding stars, Huan She, title duplicated to those in hand. So we refer to this everywhere in the like the Persian world, the Eastern world. We say it's a ra'i, it's a shepherd, but in China they refer to it as different. They take it as a duke, like a leader because of the alpha energy, and it's called Huan She. I hope I said the right way. Huan She, and the title is duplicated to those who are around that duke, because a duke is a ruler, and those who are around him were the flock. So they had that concept was more like in kingdom type, and in the Arabic world, the star, the Persian world refers to, and even in the Western, they refer to it more as a shepherd. So for Chinese, they're more into the empire world, but the Arabic, they refer to this star more like a shepherd. And I will say they were even like trying to, when I was downloading, my guys were telling me this was more like also, they were linking the star with the energy of Moses, because Moses was a shepherd who was holding a stick. And it was through the stick that it changed into a serpent, into a snake. So this was more like a Moses type of, the constellation is strongly connected to Moses and his appearance with the stick, and the stick, he could change it into a serpent. So he was extremely powerful magician, of course, and that's why this star is also connected strongly to the occult. What is its nature? Its nature is more, as I said, Saturn and Venus, and albedos of Jupiter and Mercury. It's also sextiles the Mars. It has a tendency of bringing misfortune through women. So this is another thing I will tell you. This star is very tricky. It has serpent again. Who took Adam out of the heaven? It was through a woman. So this is the type of that serpent energy. It will bring you misfortune through women. So a woman can be a source or a catalyst of your misfortune, your ending. Even if you are a woman, it will be another woman who's going to cause that problem to you. For others, this can be also the karma you have done. Whatever you have done to a woman, this woman's karma will be the catalyst of bringing you down, misfortune or whatever. So it's like giving more favor through women to get their justice. That's one thing I'm going to be telling you openly. But it has, for others, generally it has the tendency of passing justice or bringing misfortune. I will just put that, bringing misfortune through women because of its nature. A snake. Take an example. Adam and Eve. It was the woman who was influenced easily, not the man. So it is a woman who is going to be influenced, or it is through a woman who is going to influence you to do something. Male or female, doesn't matter. But the misfortune will come from the female energy. And this can also bring, this type of star also brings like mental, you feel like mental deprivation. It causes mental problems also. And it has also one thing I don't like, it is the perverted tests. And this I can understand. The energy was already, as I complained today in school, they had Bilal, last week they had a project week in the school. And funny enough, I was also surprised. I saw the chats today, parents of, like getting very angry. Children who are 14 years old, okay, they are learning about being an adult, but they went to the extremes and they were teaching these children about BDSM and dildos. 14-year-old. And too confusing them. So yeah, it has, this is the energy from this star. It gives always a perverted type of test. So someone will go into the perverted mode to the extent that they will expose something, and this will be the downfall, and it will bring misfortune. Definitely can be a woman who was involved here, because as I said, it's the misfortune will come through women. And on the other side, when it comes to the Venus side, it has the undesirable sides of Venus, the ugly sides of Venus. Venus is very giving, very loving, but the ugly side of Venus is a very ruthless, it gives you very ruthless judgment. If you understand the story of, for example, the Orishas I explained, when Venus was being bullied by the men, other male planets, she went off to the moon and she was hiding. And these rivers and everything dried up. And when they went back to God, God told them, where is Venus? And they said, Venus is not there, as in Oshun. And they said, it's because you didn't treat her right, the rivers are dry. So that is her ruthless punishment. So something can be taken away from you, which is a necessity in your life. And this is coming from this negative side of Venusian energy when you tap it in the wrong way. And that's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of misfortune which will come and caused by women. As I said also, it relates to Asclepius, the serpent holder, who is skilled in the craft of healing to the extent of restoring the dead to life. This star is also known to both ancient people referred to Arabs from Libya, the tribe of the snake charmers known as the Sila. It was also referring to them because these were during back in the ancient time when people were doing also astrology and Jahiliyyah time. Most magicians were buying snakes. They will buy snakes from the snake charmers. So there was a tribe which was mostly like living in the deserts and every different places, but mostly in the Arab peninsula. It was the Libyans who were known to be the experts in snake charming business. There was a tribe, and this tribe was called Sila. And if I'm not wrong, I hope I pronounced it the right way. And this tribe was known for generations. They are snake charmers. They will go into the deserts, go into the caves, get snakes, and then come to sell them to the magician. And that is how they used to earn their living. Just like other people were traders, other people were merchants as healers and this and that sages. This tribe of Sila, and it was currently in the normal, like in the modern world, it is like the location of Libya. This tribe originated from there. They're called the Silas, and then there was good snake charmers, and that's why they were always being referred to this Ras al Hage, like they had a third eye of snake charming people. And even because they were working with magicians, they were making money, and they were real life snake charmers, like catch snakes and sell them in the market, just like you go and sell your merchants. They were they were from the Libyan side of the Arabian African Peninsula, because back then Libya was just seen as part of the North Africa, the Horn of Africa, the Maghreb side. These were mostly it was more or less like Berbers or Bedouins, but these were a tribe specifically. They are known to be snake charmers. It was like a brand, the Sealers. And down to science, down to history, they are still recognized that it's like they have branded themselves in the astronomical world, that this constellation is referred to them. It refers to them. They were branded this name, and it runs to generation until now. Even though they don't do it, maybe I don't know if they still do it, but it's been there, and it's marked that the Sealers are the best snake charmers in the whole Arab Peninsula. They come from the northern side. So yeah, the Kabbalah side of it, this constellation has been called Asclepius and held in the rule of medicine, especially in the Kabbalah, which is associated with the Hebrew letter Ain, which is also Arabic Ain, and it contrasts. This is where it's funny. It contrasts the Yesh, Jews will understand what I'm trying. It contrasts the yesh. Yesh is there is in Jews, but this in the Kabbalah it means nothingness. So there is more healing into it, but it's more like nothingness, like the way we say Ain, because it's more like silent. So it's like silencing the knowledge, which is more occultic, and that's why I say there is more occult knowledge in it. But they silence it because there is, if you don't have the key to go into it and learn it, it can be very dangerous to you because it can be manipulative, and instead of healing you, it can kill you. But the contrasting side of it, if you have the key to pass through that Ein type of vibration, then it's a yesh. You get, there is knowledge there, but the knowledge is totally covered to an extent that it can manipulate you to harm yourself if you don't know how to use it in the Kabbalah. And all in all, as I said, the last but not least, this star is being represented by the Tower card. And it works strongly with Uranus. Just like the way the snake will give you a tower. It just comes like that. But the energy itself, it's because this physician, healer, representative of this constellation, was a person who will throw towers. His energy is more like Algol. Algol is a warlord, but this one, he goes for your health. This type of energy, and it's both the masculine side of it, which is Saturn, and the feminine side of it, which is Venus. And remember, the Saturn and Venus, they're also, they blend very well. And the reason why is because the Capricorn is very much relaxed. It's exalted actually in Venus. But when it comes to this type of energy, it's like, this is my ugly side, and Venus is telling you that this is my ugly side. So despite that exalting, there is still that negative aspect. There's no balance. It's like they both spit venom if you don't use it the right way. So be very careful. There will be temptations. As I said, global prediction, medical part is what is going to be very, very active. Be also very careful if you're living in places where it's snake and reptilian infested. These reptiles are going to be extremely active right now, and it's because of this energy. It's this healer. It's activating this. Occultists will be using a lot of reptiles. This is where I have to open up, because I said if you don't have the key to use this energy, it can work against you. But I'm telling you, I know I have the past to go that, but I won't go deeper into this knowledge because it's secretive also, even in the Kabbalah. That's why I'm saying the contrasting part is a yesh. But if you don't know anything, then it's nothing. When you ask about Ras al-Hag, nothing. It's just an ayn. That's it. A silent. How do I say? A silent vowel or letter, I should say. So what I'm going to tell you is most occult will try to use reptiles, occultic people, magicians especially. Let me put it magician. They will use the occultic knowledge of the reptilian energy to harm people. They will use that. But the other thing is what they don't understand is we have the card of the world. So if someone is literally doing this to harm somebody else because they know this is the timing we can use to do that, trust me, this will backfire and it will kill 100%. I'll give you an example today. You won't believe it. I was cleaning the window and I knew something was off. I didn't even come to these other windows. I just finished Bilal window and I closed it. And I said, I'm not cleaning windows anymore today. And it didn't take long. I saw a woman in Bengaluru was cleaning windows and she fell and passed away. Death spell. So if you can get this kind of thing. Someone is sending a very heavy spell on you. But if you know you are shielded and you've done the right thing, that magic can backfire and it will kill that person. So even you will see sudden death of magicians, people who are extremely, extremely powerful magicians, they will just drop because of this world. The new moon in Sagittarius, that's this card of the world. Their journey is over. Maybe they've been extremely manipulative. Like as I said, this Russell had a type of energy, the snake charmer, when they were abusing the third eye, he went to the extreme because he was drunk in the knowledge of physics and healing. Zeus came on board with this thunder, he is also represented by thunder, but they had a fight and Zeus had to kill him because he was going overboard with the knowledge. And it was becoming too manipulative to an extent, even trying to use dead bodies to resurrect them for something.